All right, we are now live. Hi, guys. I'm Jen Phillips in Las Vegas. I am a momtrepreneur here in Las Vegas. I've got a mom. I am a mom, 4 kids, and I teach full time during the school day. I've got a business at night, and I'm looking at meeting great people that help service families here in Las Vegas. But if you serve online and you can serve families, I'm looking for you too. So today I've got Miss Morgan with us, and she's going to share with us some of the things that she's doing to help families here in Las Vegas. So Morgan, welcome, and tell us a little bit about you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Jennifer. It's such a privilege to be on here with you. So my name is Morgan. I have been the director of Foster Connect for about 3.5 years now. And we service foster and adoptive families here in Las Vegas.
Wow. Now, when you say service, then what all does that mean? Because I think of like the beginning stages, like I'm going to go get me a kid. So like when you say service, what does that mean?
Yeah, so we are so Foster Connect's like mission statement is to help families physically, spiritually, and emotionally. We are a Christian ministry. So physically, we host events throughout the year, like the school supply drive, where we will gather backpacks and like school supplies for our foster and adoptive families. And then we had a big Christmas present drive last year. We got like 600 presents. We work with local organizations like churches and some of the Gap stores and with just different people in the community and businesses. So we also have a store called Hannah's Closet. I was actually just there this morning. It's kind of like a thrift store, I guess you could say. It's secondhand clothing that's just gently used. Sometimes we get brand new clothing, just kind of depends on the donations that we get. And that Hannah's Closet is open to every foster and adoptive family here in Las Vegas. So where Foster Connect is more of like a membership kind of thing, Hannah's Closet is for anybody that is fostering or has adopted. So that's kind of the physical side of things. Emotional, we are before COVID, pre-COVID, we were starting up a lot of support groups in the Valley with different churches and again, other organizations that were starting them up. So we started support groups for families, which is kind of like an AA meeting, only just for foster families. You literally go around the circle, like you introduce yourself, your family, the type, like how many kids you have, if you're adopted or foster care. And then you kind of just like, if there's anything that you need to talk about, whether it's behaviors or like asking for help or having questions about how the system works. That was a really good emotional plug for families to be able to share with others about their experience and know that there's people that have also experienced the same thing coming along and helping them. So that's kind of the emotional side of things. And then spiritual, we gather twice a week, me and my staff, to pray for our families individually and just put those requests before God, which is there's usually a lot of requests, usually a lot.
That's really very cool. It's interesting. I think a lot of people today, like they go make their own baby, right? And then they keep it. And then
Mhm.
there's other people who are like they can't have a kid for whatever reason, and they wonder what their options are.
Yeah.
Or maybe they do have kids, and like they really loved having family, and they're an empty nester, or the kids are getting older. My kids are in middle and high school now, and I've always thought about fostering. And I think a lot of times when you're in that place of thinking about it, you don't know what questions to ask, and you don't know what's even out there or where to go
Mhm.
um, to get support. So, like when I was thinking about it, it was before my 12-year-old was born, and it was like we started going through the foster care classes because we learned that okay, you got to do that, and but really didn't know that there was other stuff that was out there to help and support inviting this new person into your family. And
Yeah.
I think that, and that they become a member of the family, and that it's not just, they're not just a visitor, they're a member of the family. And to have the organizations that you just mentioned to provide that and provide some things that's really, really beneficial.
Yeah. Yeah, there are actually a lot of resources here in Las Vegas for foster care situations. We have foster kinship. They are specifically helpful for relative caregivers. So a grandma taking placement of a grandson, or even a neighbor taking placement of like a next door neighbor child. Like they are helping relative caregivers, and that's run by one of my really good friends, Ali Caliendo. She's incredible. So if you're a relative taking care of a relative, definitely reach out to them for support. They can help get them licensed and get the stipend, because a lot of times relative caregivers are not licensed and they aren't able to receive the funding to help care for the child. So there's that. I mean, foster kids automatically qualify for WIC, which is for kids 5 and under. We have Urban League here for daycare financial assistance. Foster children also automatically qualify for that. And then we have other support groups like Fostering Hope with Hope Church. They run an incredible support group. The director of there is Carly Souza, another really good friend. And then we have the Raise the Future, which is used to be the Adoption Exchange. And so kids that have had parental rights terminated, but they need an adoptive resource are the kids that go on there. And they usually range from about 7 years of age and older. And we all work together so well. A lot of people think there's competition in the foster care world, and in the business world there is, just in general. But in foster care here in Las Vegas, a lot of us know each other and we work together because we want to get these kids into safe and loving homes. We want to help provide for them, and just to care for them because they come from situations that are abusive or drug related. It's really rough situations, and so we want to be there to support the foster family as a whole, so we can raise up more foster families, because there's 3,500 children in care at any given time here in Las Vegas, which is a lot.
Now, when you say in care, does that mean they're in a foster home or they need one?
So there are 3,500 children in care. When CPS removes a child, those children go to a place called Child Haven here in Las Vegas. It's located centrally, like right by the 95 and the 15, right where they cross. So they go to Child Haven after they're removed from the home. There's like an intake process, and then the placement workers will start looking for a foster home to take in the child. So on average, there are about 55 to 70 children that live on campus that do not have homes. Like that's on a daily basis,
Wow.
because the influx just keeps coming, like children just keep coming in and being placed, coming in, being placed. So
Oh,
it's really
wow.
hard. Yeah.
And it's interesting hearing everything you just said. I think for a family that's thought about it and they're like, okay, well, I could do that, but like the added expense and how am I going to do this? And they need daycare. Like, oh, I'd love to have a baby. I'd love to help out a family that had a baby, but I daycare and I work full time and what do I do? And so knowing, and I didn't know this stuff, right? I didn't know this stuff. And it's like, oh, knowing that there is support
Yeah.
financially to help makes a huge difference. And I think a lot of families, if they knew what was available and knew what obstacles they were like putting in front of themselves, like, okay, no, this is why I can't. I want to, but this is why I can't. If they knew that there was a way to get past them, I think we'd have a lot more families that would be willing to do it.
Yeah, and it's really cool. There are a lot of different Facebook groups, but there are 4 that I'm a part of online that are specifically for foster parents. And you can ask questions on there, and it's like, especially with COVID right now, everyone being virtual and like trying not to meet in person, you can ask questions on there. Like, how do I do this with Urban League? How do I get my application sent in? Wix not qualifying me for the food assistance, like what's going on there? There's, again, it's just a great support network of foster families who have been there and are able to help those who are going through it.
That's really very cool. That's really very cool. So I had another question for you
Yeah.
because we met just before Christmas.
Yeah.
We were connected, and I was like, okay, is there anything you need? You're like, no, Christmas, we're good. We've got lots of support in place. And I remember being involved with other organizations, and they would be like, no, Christmas, we're good. Thanksgiving, we're good. It's the other 10 months.
Yeah.
It's the other 10 months that we really need those donations. We really need that support because, when July hits in Las Vegas, when even Easter is probably even a little bit better than other times of the year because it's a holiday time. But we look at the rest of the year. What kinds of supports do you need now? It's after the new year. Christmas is over. We're now moving through stuff. What kinds of things is Foster Connect and Hannah's Closet? What are they looking for now to help support?
Yeah, so we financially, we cover the cost of Hannah's Closet, and rent for us is around $1,400 a month, including electricity, and all of that. So we are raising money for Hannah's Closet right now, and we can get you like a tax deductible receipt if you want to make a donation to that at any time. And you can find that on the so Foster Connect as a whole is through an organization called YWAM Las Vegas.
Okay. Is that like the website, YWAM?
YWAMLasVegas.org, and you can donate on there and specify that it's for Hannah's Closet or Foster Connect, and it will come to us. So you can donate online there. So finances are huge for Hannah's Closet because we're a nonprofit. We have to raise our own money. Everyone's struggle, right? Raising money. But also, if you want to volunteer, we take volunteers at Hannah's Closet. We have a mountain of donations to go through almost constantly. We actually had to just last week tell people stop bringing donations, like we can't keep up right now. So you're welcome to come volunteer there. We would love that. We actually have a Facebook page at Hannah's Closet LV that you can get on there and message us if you want to volunteer. We would love to have that. My other staff member, Katie, is in charge of volunteer coordination.
What ages?
So we do try to do teens like 13 and above. If you have a really solid 10 to 12-year-old, we might be able to work with that. But yeah, we usually do 13 and above, and for 18 and younger, we do ask that there be an adult present with them, because just to make sure everything stays safe.
Oh, of course, of course. My son's in scouts, and so like they're always looking for service projects, and I prefer to do things where he can actually go out and do something like this, as opposed to like collecting it for donations. I'd rather than go do the work and do something like that. So that's
I said we have no problem with donations, none. We have people one day I had 12 people come and donate, and we're not talking just one garbage bag, we're talking like 4+. So donations, thankfully we have enough donations, because these clothing items we give to families for free. We have all sizes ranging from preemie, which is we need preemie, more preemie clothes, a preemie all the way up to size 16, 18 kids. We unfortunately are not able to keep the teen sizes. We just don't have the space and the capacity to do that. So we refer our teens to Project 150, because they have a store kind of too.
Yeah.
So.
Very, very, that's very, very cool. I'm just excited at, it's funny. I just got a whole bucket load of furniture, and I've got a whole bunch of other different stuff. And I'm like, hey, what am I going to do with these linens? And what am I going to do with this mattress topper? And it's like, it's just going to go to the curb. And so I'm like, I'm thinking for myself, like, what can I do with stuff that we have? And as my kids grow out of stuff, where do we go? And so learning what's available here in town, because I don't know if a lot of people know this, but Goodwill is a company. People donate to Goodwill, and Goodwill is a company, and it's a for-profit company. And not that they don't do good things for the community, and not that it doesn't, do good things, but it's a company. And I think when I look at what I'm going to be donating, I want to be donating to something that's going to benefit like your organization.
Yeah.
Savers is a company. I can donate there and I'm going to get a coupon, but it's a company. And I think that if people knew more about what organizations are out there that need the donations for their nonprofit, it would mean a whole lot more for them to make the donation.
Yeah.
And I think that we need to get that out there more about what is out there to help families. They're doing this because they see the value and they want to help. And so when we're done, I want to get some, we'll put in the chat bar, guys, in the comments, we'll put in the links to all these different places for you to get information. If you've got questions, put it in there. Morgan will come in and check in, and she'll see what you guys are having, and we'll get everybody tagged in there. But if you know somebody who works in a school, tag them in this. If you know somebody who's a counselor, like a therapist outside of a school setting, tag them here. If you know somebody who is a foster parent, wants to be a foster parent, has adopted children, wants to adopt children, has children that has friends that are fosters or adoptees, like connect people to this. Let them know what is available. And if you're not in Las Vegas, connect anyway, because you know what? Maybe this will be inspiration for somebody to find what's in their town, because you probably have something, or maybe it'll be inspiration for somebody to start it. And we've got some great people here in Las Vegas who evidently created something really pretty wonderful to help the families we have and to service those children, to make sure that they're in safe environments to help them to grow. Mm-hmm. So Morgan, thank you so much. Do you have any last minute things you want to say to our friends out there?
Yeah, I would just say that you're never too young to make a difference. I am a foster parent also, and I started when I was 24, and I'm single, and I'm doing this on my own. I have 3 beautiful kiddos right now in my home. So it has been it's just been even better for me to be a foster parent, walking along on this journey with other foster parents, because I see their side of things now. I see the emotional roller coaster. I felt it. I've been there. So you're never too young. You're never too young to start, even if it's just volunteering at Hannah's Closet. We want to instill those values into our children, because we want to help. Like we don't want to be just people sitting watching TV, just going about our own business. Like we want to be community minded, and helping those around us. So yeah.
Very cool. I think it's wonderful what you guys are doing, and I want to continue to connect with you and see what we can do to help our Las Vegas community. But as we continue to grow, we're going to help you grow, and let's just continue to people helping people, right? That's what we do.
Amen.
So, thank you for that. and have a great rest of your day.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.